Welcome to my humble abode. So, this video, these are my notes. If you don't fuck with notes, I don't fuck with you, you know what I'm saying? Just kidding. But I do have my notes, and I'm gonna clip my microphone right here. Microphone. So, you have been eating clean, tracking your macros, working out hard, and your body still looks the same. This video is about recomping and why it's not working for you. This one in particular is about the nutrition side of things. I will also do one on the training side of things, so if you are experiencing those things and you're trying to recomp, this video is for you. And welcome, my name is Kara. This is the Karadime. I am an exercise scientist, a bodybuilding champ, what else? A coach, anime lover, God-fearing woman who makes YouTube videos for people in their fitness journey and who enjoy those things. So with body recomping, sometimes it's not that you're doing the wrong things. You could be doing the right things the wrong way, or doing them halfway, or maybe you're not doing the right things at all. But that's okay. We all start somewhere. I used to be doing extra crazy things with my workouts. So basically, there's a few things I'm gonna cover. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. There's 5 things that you could be doing wrong pertaining to nutrition, and I'll do 5 things pertaining to training. And some of these elements can be applied if you're not necessarily trying to recomp, but just not seeing any changes. So recomp. And also keep in mind that your body adjusts to things over time. So if it was working for you at first and then it stopped working, it just means you have to tweak your variables. But this video still could be helpful. So let's just dive into it. I'm kind of a no fluff type of gal, you know what I'm saying? Number 1, under eating protein. I can emphasize this enough. Muscle is very metabolically expensive. What does that mean? If muscle is metabolically expensive, this means that your body has to spend more energy to keep that muscle. So if I'm under eating, for example, my body is going to be more likely not to want to pack that muscle on if I'm not getting the protein, because like I said, it's expensive to maintain. And that's why muscle usually goes away first, because it is not as essential to survival as fat is. So our bodies are still ancient in a certain way. And so I have the actual statistics. So every pound of muscle burns 3 to 6 times more calories at rest than a pound of fat. That's a lot. And that's why I always tell people, if you have more muscle mass and you focus on building muscle, you'll be able to ultimately eat more because you need more to maintain what you have built. So 2 people can weigh 150 pounds, but the one with more muscle mass needs way more calories to maintain what their physique is than the person who's 150 pounds and doesn't have as much muscle mass. So keep that in mind. If you want to be a foodie and look good, keep that in mind. So muscle also demands oxygen, amino acids, and energy to repair itself and to grow. And the reparation is a part of the growth. I hope that's the right word and that's not only a slave word. Please do not cancel me if I use that word wrong. But those things that your body needs to do, the energy it takes to maintain that oxygen, energy, all the day-to-day things that is going on behind the scenes that we don't consciously think of, is called your basal metabolic rate, your BMR. And that is the calories you burn from just existing. And so if you're not eating your BMR, you are under eating, point blank period, and you will not recomp. Your body will be like, what the fuck? So figure out what that is. There's tons of calculators online. You know your body fat percentage even better. But if not, it'll go off of your activity level. Do not say that you are very active, because I do not say that I am very active. You are very active, that's different. But for me, I have a really hard hour workout, and then I work a desk job. Well, I do online training. So I'm sitting on my ass. Well, I have a walking desk, but you get what I'm saying. I'm not moving that much during the day. So I put it as me being kind of active, because that 2 hours does not offset the other 22 hours that I'm doing nothing. So figure out what that is. That's going to be your baseline. And that will help you figure out what your macros need to be, and that will help you figure out what your protein needs to be. I think that the best fix for this, so the problem is going to come with a fix, so don't worry. But you want to aim for 0.8 to 1. I always go with 1 because it's easier. I'm not doing the math of 0.8. But 1 gram per pound of body weight spread across your meals. I would say your goal weight. So if you're looking to gain 5 pounds of muscle and you weigh 150 pounds, I would say aim for 155 grams of protein. If you weigh 150 and you want to maintain your weight, go for 150. If you want to lose some, go for 145. You get what I'm saying? Don't overthink it. Just pick your weight and eat it in grams of protein. And now the issue is figuring out what to eat. Maybe that'll be another video. I don't feel like doing it. But every meal with protein. That's my first tip. So every meal should be based around your protein source. It doesn't have to be meat. So for example, in the morning, I like to do oatmeal, but I put a little scoop of protein powder. I get the Animal Whey from Amazon. Tastes amazing. They have a 10-pound bag. Lovely. I don't have to buy it all that often. And it has great ingredients, third-party tested. That's my first meal of the day. Not even a meat. And then I'm a meat lover. I love to eat meat, so I'll do maybe a steak. I don't eat steak every day, but you get what I'm saying. Will base my meals around that and make sure that you're including protein and have protein supplementation if you do not. And I was vegan for 6 years, so don't come at me for the meat stuff. Vegan did not work for me. I look and feel much better eating the way I do now. Everybody's different. All I'm saying is protein. I'm not saying animal sources, I'm just saying protein, and figure out what it means for you. So with protein, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. If you're not tracking your food in some way, you are not going to be successful at recomping. And the reason I say that is because recomping is a lot more difficult than people realize. If you're a beginner, it is easier for you. If you are more advanced, which I would say is like a year into your fitness journey, it's going to be a little bit more challenging for you because your body's not as adaptive and is not as quick to respond to that stimulus because it's not as new anymore. So if you're not tracking, this video is a wake-up call. Track. It doesn't have to necessarily be weighing everything. Measuring cups. Something to have a baseline with. If you don't know what to adjust because you don't know what needs to be adjusted, then you're not going to be successful because you're just going to be turning your wheels and adjusting the wrong things or too much or too little, and it makes things so much quicker. I explained tracking your food with an app like using a GPS to get somewhere you've never been before. If you've been there before, you can probably do without the GPS, right? But if you have not successfully lost 10 pounds before or successfully recomped and maintained your weight and completely changed your physique before, you should probably use things that are going to make your journey easier. I'm just going to say you're not going to be as successful if you don't track, and you don't have to be obsessive about it. And another thing to note, if you are obsessive about tracking or obsessive about your food in general, you shouldn't be trying to think about losing weight. You should be thinking about your routine and feeling better in your body and self-care more than you should be thinking about those hard, structured goals. Not necessarily because you don't deserve those things, but because your mind just isn't there yet. You have to prove to yourself that you're all right, you're safe in your body, and hopefully you're in a good mindset to not want to change your body from a place of hate. Start doing stuff from a place of love. Feel much better. That's number 1. Number 2 is program hopping your diet. I want to put this down, but my microphone clipped it right there. Don't feel like moving it. So your metabolism is adaptive. And what that means is if I am eating, say, like for example with prep, I end my prep eating 1,600 calories a day. Eventually, if I keep eating that, my body of course is going to get smaller, and my smaller body will eventually get small enough to where that 1,600 calories is my maintenance. And it's adaptive. Same way in the opposite direction. That's what people call a diet. And so it's always adjusting to what you throw to it. But if you are constantly going, oh, I'm gonna try keto, and then I'm gonna try vegan, and then I'm gonna try 1,800 calories, and then I'm gonna try, oh shit, I'm not low enough, I'm gonna eat 1,600. Be consistent. You gotta at least stick with it long enough for the software to match up to the hardware. You know what I'm saying? Like, body's not gonna be in sync. It takes a second. And if you're bouncing around constantly, it's gonna be really confused on what it needs to do, and it's not gonna see consistent results. So if you're not consistent and all the variables, consistency is out the window as far as your results go as well. Is it clocking? So what that means is calculate your BMR, figure out your protein intake, figure out what your calories need to be. Don't worry too much about macros if you're a beginner yet. If you're not a beginner, find some macros that are pretty balanced. I like to have like carbs, higher fat, higher protein. And if you're a beginner, focus on your protein intake and staying within calories, and don't worry so much about the macros, and it'll fall into place. And it's calories out, so don't worry too much about that, okay? You don't have to worry about that manipulation until you get closer to really lean, because those variables matter more, or as you get more advanced. So, switch is gonna reset your system. So stick with something for at least a month, track your variable, measurements, weight, food, figure out if there's any discrepancies. If there are, fix them before you make a change. And then if there aren't any discrepancies or things that need to be fixed, then you do for an adjustment. You can add more cardio, you could add more workouts, or you could add less food. Nobody wants less food, so usually they do the other, but some people are pretty okay with having less food. Or maybe you have it to where you set it up to, on your workout days you eat more, and then you eat maybe like calories less on your rest days because you don't need more food as much. And some people do it to where they eat less on the weekdays because they're distracted by work, and they eat more on the weekends because why not? So don't program hop your diet. Your body's trying to figure out the vibe. Let it figure out the vibe. It takes a little bit. While you're in a recomp, you are trying to change your physique. So you do still need stuff in your tank to change your physique, which you want to be able to perform while still staying in slight deficit. Usually you want to eat at maintenance or like to 300 calorie deficit. 500 calorie daily deficit, I think will put you at like a pound of weight loss a week. Correct me if I'm wrong, a pound of fat I think has 3,200 calories in it. And not just saying that you should starve yourself, it doesn't work like that. I'm saying that you need to be in a deficit of 3,200 throughout the week to lose a pound of fat. And like I said, if you're not eating protein, that's all out the window. So don't worry too much about that. Just worry about figuring out your BMR and your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure, which is your BMR plus the activity of the day. So figure out your TDEE, subtract your deficit or stay at maintenance, listen to the calculation, adjust according to what your body is doing, because although it is a calculation, that doesn't mean that your body might need more or less. So tracking your food again, circling back to number one, make sure you have some sort of method of tracking, or you're gonna be like a chicken with his head cut off. So, lifters and chronic dieters, I put to stick closer to maintenance, and experienced athletes, you wanna dip slightly into a deficit, but don't tank your lifts. So if your performance is tanking, consider readjusting your calories a little bit. Protein high, carbs and fat flexible, but intentional, real, colorful food 80% of the time, and save that 20% for sanity or fun. And one fun meal is not gonna ruin recomp, but inconsistency will. And so if that one fun meal happens every week and that's making you inconsistent, sorry sis. But the fix, pick a strategy, stay there for 8 to 12 weeks. And of course, adjustments that are needed. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It just means giving your body time to adapt to the variables and be consistent with those variables. And if you're just starting, pick 3 things. If I were to tier them, I would say, obviously, calorie goal, I would say protein goal, food. Figure out your food. Figure out your calories and your macros. And goal, water. Focus on those 3 things at first. Or step goal, workouts. Obviously, I would say workout step goal. Step goal is just for like a good baseline for things, but if not, you could swap that step goal with something else. I just found the step goal is really helpful for me. And then track your biofeedback. What that means is like sleep, strength, mood, hunger. You could also do like pain, soreness, recovery, all that jazz. We'll shift before the mirror does. And we are the last people to see the changes on our body. Stick with it, girl. Weekend calorie amnesia. Once upon a time, I was in this group when I was in college. I'm no longer in college, and I do not feel the need to relive those days. So I don't really have this problem. I don't drink, so this isn't really an issue for me, but a lot of people have this issue. And because a lot of people work during like through Friday, and so the weekends are like, oh, I'm hanging out at home, I get more hungry, get more snacky, I grab a snack here, grab a snack there, a little bite here, a little taste there. It adds up really quick. And even lights and stuff. So body composition isn't going to be about this one day. or one day in general, it's your weekly average. And so if your weekly average gets thrown off because Saturday and Sunday are just having a heyday, and you just say like, I need the flexibility on the weekends to have social things and have fun, and then you complain about how you look every week, you need to find some balance, girl. You can't outlift bottomless mimosas and drunk nachos. So you need to adjust your plan. It doesn't necessarily mean that you cannot have fun. You can still lose weight, look great, have fun. What I'm saying is, if you like to go out to drink with the girlies on Saturday, maybe make sure that the earlier parts of Saturday, like breakfast and lunch, are light protein focused, carbs, so that you have room for drinks if you're drinking, or fun food if you're going out to eat, and just be more mindful and don't let it turn into a whole weekend thing. Try to pick a day, have some fun, or a free meal, and try to get back to it the next day. And don't let it become a thing, or fit it into your calories. If you're like, hey, I'm gonna eat 200 calories less, so putting myself into like 400 calorie deficit during the weekdays and bumping up my calories by like on the weekends to put me on terrible math, not good at math, so don't like use this example, actually do the math yourself. But you wanted to like compensate on the weekends to have more calories, you could do that by lowering your calories during the weekdays, having that one day have more calories allotted, even if it's just for like mindset trick of it, but it is helpful. Plan. Do not let that go rampant. So my fix for this is to plan indulgences like an adult, right? If you have goals that you want to accomplish, and one, ease up during the week, so you're not starving by Saturday. So if maybe your deficit is too low and it's not necessarily going out or anything, it's just that you feel so hungry because you're not stimulated by work or school or whatever, and you just overeat because you just feel hungry. Maybe add a little bit more to the weekdays, or again, give yourself more on the weekend. And track. Even if you're ballparking it, it's gonna be much more helpful and eye-opening than not tracking at all. And if you're like tracking your drinks and things, I think that is really smart too, just so you can see, even if you just want to be objective and you do want that flexibility, I think it would be really helpful to track, just like, hey, night out of drinking, I usually eat 5 Guys and have about like mixed drinks. Put that into your calorie tracker and I bet it'll change your mind and you'll just be a little more mindful. For me, it was just a bottle of vodka with some Mio in it. It was really atrocious, but whatever. I was trying to get to the point. I wasn't trying to like, I don't sip to have fun, you know what I'm saying? That's why I had to stop drinking. But you could also fit in a refeed meal if you are feeling really hungry. Not a refeed weekend, girl. A refeed meal. And that still needs to be intentional-ish. So you can have a little bit more. You can still have burger and fries or whatever, but don't turn it into every meal for the next 3 weeks is burger and fries. So yeah, if you go off track, don't punish yourself, just get back to it. And if you overindulge, just get back to it. Just don't turn it into a whole spiral, is my point. But weekend, setting you up for failure. Number 4, eating enough, period. A lot of women undereat protein. You would be so surprised at the average amount of protein my clients eat when they first come to me. It's like grams a day, girlfriend. Very bad news bears. But Recomp isn't about eating less or just focusing on the weight loss part. If you're worried about putting on a little fluff with building muscle, again, that's another conversation you need to have, potentially with a therapist. But let's see what my notes are. Oh. Obviously, when you chronically undereat, it really stresses your body out. So your can dip, obviously cortisol levels can fluctuate, just a lot of things are going on. So your body thrives off consistency in general, and also having those hormone drops, cortisol spikes, and all of that good, not so good stuff is gonna make you feel tired and fluffy because you're gonna be holding on to some more water. And keep in mind too that we have 2 weeks where we feel pretty great and 2 weeks where we feel not so great. So that can also align with like your body looks. So having other ways to track your consistency is better. And if you're under eating, it's also gonna slow down your thyroid and hormone production in general. So keep that in mind. You don't want to do that. It's actually, I've been there, done that, and it was very awful. So it's really a bitch to get your body to not want to just be fat after you try to gain weight because it's just stressed out. So it's really important to not do that. If you have done that, don't worry, I've been there. Can fix it. I fixed it. I feel better, look better now. But know that that's a very slippery slope. So the fix is to obviously think of food as fuel for your lifts, and also, again, figure out your TDEE, figure out your BMR. You can get this professionally tested if you want. See what your body's doing, figure out what it actually maintains on, and then go into like calorie deficit. This might be like a lot of food for some of you who have been chronically under eating. Adjust accordingly. Just do what you can, be consistent with what you can, and then build up. Don't shortchange yourself. You can do hard things. And food is your co-lifter. If you were to have a lifting partner every day, it is food. So if you're not eating what you need, you're not gonna have very good lifts. If you don't have very good lifts, you're not gonna have a great ass. I don't know if that's what you're here for. That's what I'm here for. So track your food, track your performance, figure out what you need to track. You don't need to eat less, you need to eat right. Capiche? All right, last one is number 5, ignoring recovery. And I chalk this like 1-1 bonus, ignoring recovery and fiber, because if you're super backed up, not very delicious, and you're not gonna feel very good, and you're not gonna feel very lean, you're not gonna feel very sexy. So fiber is important. I believe it is 25 grams for women daily. It's either 23 or 25, and it's 30 or 32 for men. So those are essential. And obviously, it is the hardest thing in the world for me to take a rest day. So this is definitely the kettle. What is it? It's not the kettle calling the tea black. The pot calling the kettle black? I don't know. I know I'm being hypocritical when I say this, but recovery is very important. If you go insane in the membrane like me, you can definitely still do an active rest day. I like to just do the gym, do the sauna, do an incline walk, a little bit of core like mobility. I just like the routine of it. But muscle growth and fat loss happens when your body rests and it's able to actually recover. Maybe eventually it will adapt, but that's not the point. We want to be smart. Work smarter, not harder. And so what does recovery, like good recovery routine look like? Obviously, sleeping 7 to 9 hours a night. You are not able to do that 6 hours. If you can't do that, take a nap, because sleep is very, very important, not only for cognitive function, but also for muscle recovery. And also, I just learned this, but also for trauma. Very interesting. That's what REM, like when your eyes go back and forth, it's like processing your memories for the day. So it can be very helpful in recovery in multiple aspects, not just fitness. And then a consistent bedtime, screens off early. Rest days are growth days. Also, if you don't sleep enough, you're also going to hold on to more cortisol, which for women is even more volatile because of our hormone cycles. So keep that in mind. You also want to make sure that you're just getting enough sleep. I would also consider like inflexibility a part of recovery. I would also consider food technically a part of recovery. So making sure that you have some sort of movement routine that supplements your workouts. This is another thing I'm really hypocritical about. I'm pretty not consistent. Now I'm really consistent. I got a Theragun, very nice, and lacrosse balls and foam rollers, and I just do what my body's asking for. Take care of it, and find a routine around it. I've just committed to a couple times a week. I do try to like start the day. I get 10,000 steps a day, so like is a little bit better. Of course, my workouts are also structured around like sure I have a good warm up and cool down. And so, yeah. Can't survive off caffeine and vibes, unfortunately. I've been there also. Tried to do it. In-term success. But still. It's also going to make you hold on to more belly fat. So you want to be snatched or not, girl. Also important because, like I said, it keeps your hormones in your brain in a good place. There's a lot of connection between the brain and the gut. And soluble fiber will help your blood sugar and energy. Insoluble fiber helps keep things moving. And so if your gut is very sluggish, your progress will be too, and you probably feel like when you're lifting. So yeah, like I said, 25 to 35 grams daily of fiber from fruits, veggies, oats, chia, flax, beans, water, supplements, whatever, get it in. And then some bonus tips that I just thought of to put. Track your progress somehow. You can take pictures, you can take measurements, you could do both, you could do other things that you want to see improvement with, but especially with Recomp, you can really get in your head. You can also do it with performance, like the weights you're lifting, whatever you can stay consistent with and that you feel motivated to see change. And real Recomp takes 8 to 16 weeks of consistency. That's the kicker. You hear me? Consistency. You can be doing it for 8 to 16 weeks and not be consistent with all your variables. You will not see decent recomp results because you're not consistent. You see what I'm saying? Recomp survives and thrives in consistency. So figure out what you can be consistent with it and then add things on later. So yeah, slow burn. Marathon, not a sprint. Nipsey fans here. And so, let me take my microphone off. If, again, you've been eating clean, you've been lifting, you've been working hard, you're not seeing the changes you want to see, you still feel skinny fat, you don't know what's going on, and you got 5 solutions, possibly. If I did not list what you're having troubles with, please let me know. I'll help you out. And you're not broken. I always say that it's not that your plan isn't working, it's maybe it doesn't fit you, or we need to adjust the plan to fit you better, or you just have some blind spots. I think we all have blind spots, right? And so once you feed your body right, actually recover, get your workouts in order, which we'll talk about next video, body will start falling in line. But it does take consistency. That's the biggest thing. I'll see people complain about not seeing results, and they've been consistently inconsistent for about a month or so. And so sometimes it just takes you having something that you have to be objective with for you to see, like, I've really been bullshitting myself. I've missed every Tuesday for the past 3 weeks. And maybe you didn't even realize it because life moves fast, right? So yeah, next video is going to be top 5 training mistakes in Recomp, and that one's going to sting a little bit for some of you. I know it does for me sometimes. So that's it. Hit subscribe, leave a comment if you want. I'm new to this, so yeah. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you guys so much, and I hope this helped. Peace.